It's been a while since we talked about that new game from the Assassin's Creed Odyssey creators, Immortals Fenyx Rising, but we actually got a ton of IGN first content that showed way more about the world, and I think that is where the game will shine the most, exploring these 7 different looking areas that are all inspired by the Greek mythology and look beautiful. We also learned about some new gameplay elements and way more, so I want to go over everything in this video. A like would really help the channel out. And let's go. You can, by the way, win Immortals Fenyx Rising in the October giveaway that is going on right now for a 2020 game of your choice. Just click the link in the pinned comment if you want to participate, and you have to be a subscriber of the channel as well before you enter. Good luck. So in my hands-on impressions video, I did not touch on the character creator that will be in the game. The Fynx that we're seeing in all the trailers and in the gameplay is one that Ubisoft Quebec made. But actually, when we play the game, we will first wash up after a shipwreck on the area from Hermes called Clashing Rocks. Then we will also meet Hermes himself and then get put in Aphrodite's beauty chair and then can create the character we want with some crazy skin colors, body posture, hair, beard, scar. It all seems to be there, even the voice, which is interesting. And then we can explore Hermes' area, and that's really just the tutorial area, the Kefalonia of Immortals, basically. I would not be surprised if we can also already play this while the rest of the game downloads in the background. And IGN got some footage of this early zone. It should be devastated, it looks kind of sad, and overall this is where we get all our abilities. I think the wings is something you get very early on, so we can really get everything under control before we go into the big open world. And the first area we will see upon arriving on the Golden Isle will be the one from Aphrodite. It should be super colorful, we see a lot of trees, flowers, and we saw some underwater areas that we can explore too. Cyclopses will already here ready to fight, although you might want to ignore most of them, because again, we still don't have a ton of the abilities. One of the main objectives will be pushing this pearl through the world with different attacks and by solving puzzles. And this area is also where the Hall of the Gods is, basically your home base, where we can change our appearance again from the looks of it, but also upgrade our skills with coins of Charon that we collect from puzzles in the world. Yes, Charon, the Hades lieutenant. Not sure if the character will be in the game, at least we got a currency associated with him. We can also do weapon upgrades here, upgrade our stamina, really all sorts of stuff. So we will be going back to this location quite often, via fast travel for example. And every time you save a god in one of the regions, they should also join you here in the hall. The Ares Zone kind of reminds me of the Underworld from the Fate of Atlantis. The developers describe it as a battleground, red, Mars-like, with fallen titans. And in this region we will have to complete Ares' fortress that ends in a vault of Tartarus. And these are like small Zelda-like shrines in an instant location. There should be around 60 of them in the world, which is quite a lot. And apart from the regular platforming and puzzle solving, you can also encounter a pinball machine that you have to interact with to complete one of these vaults. So there's a basic progression in the game, like after the Ares Zone, it makes sense to go to Athena. That is really the most Greek zone of all the regions in the game. Hey, that statue looks familiar, but we will also see a lot of Greek architecture here. Just overall, this zone should feel the most like Odyssey, thanks to those buildings in combination with nature, mountains and water. At one point we see Fynx turn invisible, kind of a shadow of the Nyx style ability to tame a larkspur, because that's actually a pretty cool feature in this game. You need to tame mounts to be able to ride them. I did this once in my play session. I could not turn invisible yet, so had to use the plants to sneak up to the horse. And then, like, they will not run away and you can simply press a button to tame them. In this case, it wasn't really useful because I already had a rank 3 robot horse that has 3 times the stamina. So curious if taming animals will still be worth it if you already got a really good mount, or if it will then just be for a sort of Pokemon style collection. At least cool that we have antlers in the game as well. Hopefully there are more different types of mounts. The Larkspur at least seems pretty fast from the looks of it. But yeah, what I really like about this game is that we can really go everywhere we want the moment we get off that tutorial Hermes Island. So the moment we get to the Golden Isle. So maybe you can then already try and tame a powerful mount that you can then use throughout the rest of the game, or maybe already get powerful gear and weapons, if you know how to survive. The developers now also said that it can totally happen that players can skip jumping puzzles or other obstacles in vaults, for example, because they first try and clear a more difficult area and then return to Athena Zone when they are already way too powerful. Like, there are no levels in this game whatsoever, so nothing is really stopping you from trying to go to a more challenging region. Although the enemies will of course be tougher, like there should be multiple versions of the Minotaur, for example, that should be harder to take out. Or maybe you will then encounter a Hecatoncheires, who we of course also saw at the end of the Fate of Atlantis DLC. But in this game all the mythical creatures will be way more common, so totally expect to fight this creature more often. And I actually really like the cut the tree and then throw it against the enemy tactic. Pretty cool. There will also be very big world boss versions of the mythical creatures that you might encounter early on already and are then like, okay, I will come back later. And the world boss Hecatoncheires should be one of the most challenging encounters, if not the most challenging encounter in the game. I actually already took out 2 of these world bosses in the Forge Lands, the region from Hephaestus, where the Ubisoft 4 demo took place, so you've likely already seen this in action. To be fair though, looking at the other areas they now revealed, this seems to be the least exciting one in my opinion. Like, we also got region number 5 of the Golden Isle, King's Peak from Zeus. And it's a snowy mountain that we actually also already see in the distance when exploring the other parts of the world, and this should really be like an end game area, because we have to find a way to the top while fighting challenging enemies. The weather will be against us as well, so we likely need to find something to keep us warm. Overall, this really seems like a linear area. Again, you want to get to one part of the map, because then you reach Typhoon's area, the Gates of Tartarus. I really think it will be fun to explore this world. Again, I'm quite surprised by how diverse and beautiful it looks, and to get to the top of the mountain should be awesome. We will hear Zeus and Prometheus talk to each other, make jokes all the time. Their relationship should evolve over the course of the game. And it actually starts with a bet between the 2 gods about you. Like, Zeus thinks that you cannot save the gods by defeating Typhon, while Prometheus does. And when Prometheus wins, so when you defeat Typhon, he will be set free. So I'm sure Prometheus will be rooting for us. Overall, I really hope this was an April or March release, so I really had the time to explore everything at my own pace. I think it will be a perfect laid-back game. But really, with Cyberpunk and Valhalla already out, and actually the Watch Dogs Legion first update with the multiplayer and a ton of other stuff launching the exact same day as Immortals, it will be hard to really sink a ton of time into this. And high chance that many people already spent all their money by the time this game comes out, unless you are like on Switch, because there's not a ton of competition for that then. So yes, I wished they delayed it, like also spend more time. I don't want to like guide arrows in every region. We kind of saw that everywhere, so I hope that there will be enough variety. But overall, it's really about a topic that has been on my mind for a while now regarding Ubisoft's upcoming release schedule. And I will likely do the big Sunday video on this topic, so totally subscribe for that and more videos on the best upcoming open world games. Really curious to hear your take on Immortals, drop it down in the comments. A like would really help the channel out. And by the way, I have more raw gameplay from my recent play session up on my new second channel that is all about gameplay, so totally check it out. Subscribe if you haven't already. I could use all the support right there. You can watch that raw gameplay video by clicking on the screen. For now though, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.